So, good morning to all. This is Manikya Rao, lecturer in economics, working at AP Residential Junior College, Nagarjuna Sagar. How are you all? I welcome you all once again for today online class. So, since long time we have been discussing our second year economics. So far we have completed 4 important chapters and we are discussing 5th chapter, that is industrial sector. So even in industrial sector also we have completed important concepts, which are, first one is importance of industrial sector in India. Importance of industrial sector in India. Importance of industrial sector in India. (1948) Industrial Policy. (1956) Industrial Policy. New Industrial Policy 1991, which is very important for 10 marks. SEZ, Special Economic Zones. Causes of industrial backwardness. Causes of industrial backwardness. So these are the major things which we have discussed in 5th chapter, that is industrial sector. So far these are the concepts which we have already completed. I don't know how many of you have followed this 5th chapter, all these concepts systematically. We have given elaborate explanation for each concept. So when we have discussed all these topics, I have also highlighted what concept it is very important in examination point of view also. So the importance of industrial sector, which is very important for 5 marks. 1948 Industrial Policy, so far they did not ask even in any examination paper, IPE. Whereas 1956 Industrial Policy, they have asked very often. తరచు అడుగుతున్నటువంటి క్వశ్చన్ అది. Then coming to New Industrial Policy 1991. Critically evaluate 1991 new industrial policy, which is important for 10 marks. That also I have explained in previous video. Then coming to special economic zones, SEZs. What for SEZs and what is the importance or significance of SEZ? What are the objectives of SEZ and what are the advantages of SEZs? What type of packages that government has given to SEZ, special economic zone, when that act has came into existence. So how many SEZs are functioning now? So all those things we have discussed in earlier in previous class. And also I have completed that causes of industrial backwardness. Causes of industrial backwardness in previous class. So only two important concepts are left for the fifth chapter, that is industrial sector. Those are, one is MSME and industrial estates. MSME and industrial estates. That too, now I am going to explain. What is the importance of MSME? What for MSME? And what are the importance of MSME? What are the merits of MSME? What are the demerits of MSME? Finally, last important 5 marks question, that is industrial estates. Industrial estates. If that two topics are finished, so this fifth chapter is going to complete. Fifth chapter is going to complete. క్లాస్ చెప్తాను, కొంచెం సెన్స్ పెట్టండి సార్ ప్లీజ్. అటు చూడడానికి బాగోదు. So okay, this is very very important chapter for examination point of view, because in this chapter also one 10 marks question, one 5 marks question, one or two for 2 marks questions also there is a possibility to ask. Okay, so therefore I request you, whatever the topics that already discussed from first chapter to so far, please go through all the chapters once again. Okay, because already we have entered into new year, that is 2021. So this 2021 already it is the season of examinations. Season of examinations. So now your time starts now. Okay, your time starts now. You have to start your exercise or your running to win the race. I think this month at any time intermediate board they may give circular, examination fees must be paid. After paying of examination fees, immediately they announce the dates. Already that dates also roughly we received, that is in the month of March, maybe second week or third week, examinations are going to take place. So far, if you are not prepared, all the syllabus material, whatever the topics that are already completed from your respective subjects or groups by teachers, that is lecturers and madams, please go through it, all the contents. And also very important thing you must keep in mind, whatever the syllabus that is already deleted, whatever the remaining syllabus that we have to prepare, that you have to prepare. 70% syllabus only we have to prepare. As far as our subject of economics is concerned, I have deleted that 30% syllabus very carefully. Only 70% of syllabus only I am giving you information through online. Okay, I hope you are systematically following all the classes for second year economics, but very few are following. But how many of you are preparing for your own, that I don't know. But it is a chance. While you are at home, you can simply enter into the classroom through online, not offline. Okay? So please make use of this type of opportunities, because government already taking lot of risk while taking this information to every student of intermediate second year. At least they will be benefit. So for that point of view, all risks, our institutions, AP model schools, KGB, and again APRI societies. It is a 3 institutions combination, coordination. We are providing lot of information through online classes. Please make use of it and get more information. Whenever you have free time, you have to prepare your textbooks. Otherwise, while watching classes, you have to note down the important points. Important points which sirs and madams are explained. That is one of the way. So coming to the MSME. MSME means micro, small, medium enterprises. Micro, small, medium enterprises. That is the expansion. MSME, it explains. So when it comes to the introduction, part, the government of India has announced MSMEs, that is Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006. MSMED, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development Act. D stands for Development Act. MSMED. Okay. So these enterprises primarily engaged in the production, manufacturing, process or production of goods and commodities. These MSMEs primarily engaged in the production, manufacturing, processing and prevention of goods and commodities. Production, manufacturing, processing, preservation of goods and commodities. This is the simple meaning of MSME. Then coming to, in India, MSME constitutes nearly 8% of country's GDP. 8% of country's GDP. 8%. They are contributing for national GDP. And manufacturing approximately around 45%, around 45% of manufacturing output, approximately 40%. Production of manufacturing goods, and 40% of exports. 40% of exports. So this is a very significant thing as far as MSMEs are concerned. So MSMEs, nearly 8% of national GDP it contributes, and 45% production of manufacturing things, and 40% it contributes exports. So MSME sector is considered as the backbone of Indian economy. It is a backbone. Backbone of the Indian economy. It is the backbone of the Indian economy. Earlier, agriculture sector was the backbone of Indian economy, but things have been changed because agriculture sector continuously it has been decreasing, and after industrial sector it was steadily increasing, but nowadays service sector, especially for industrial sector, this MSMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises playing an important role for economic development. So therefore, we can say these are the backbone of the Indian economy that has contributed substantially in the socio-economic development of the country. These MSMEs are substantially contributing socio-economic development of the country. Socially, it means all types of caste, that is socially different social groups, they are getting lot of employment opportunities, and economically they are developing. So therefore, MSMEs are considered, it is a substantially for socio-economic development of the country. So this is all we can write in introduction part. Then coming to the MSME, enterprises. Sector, enterprises, sector or enterprises, investment level, small, micro, small, medium. Micro, small, medium, that is sector or enterprises. These are the classified, we can classify it in three, that is micro, small and medium. When it comes to the investment level, micro investment, it is less than rupees 25 lakhs, less than rupees 25 lakhs it requires. For investment capacity is, for micro it is less than 25 lakhs. When it comes to the small, the investment level is 25 rupees 25 lakhs to 5 crore. 5 crore. 25 lakhs to 5 crore. It is the investment rupees between 25 lakhs to 5 crore for small industrial units. When it comes to the medium enterprises, the investment rupees 5 crore to 10 crore. 10 crore. 5 crore to 10 crore. That is medium. Whereas large scale, for large scale where the investment is rupees 10 crore to 100 crores. Large scale where the investment from 10 crore to 100 crores. 10 crore to 100 crores for large scale units. Whereas for mega industries, where the investment will be more than 100 crores. It is more than 100 crores. The investment will be more than 100 crores. So that is the sector or entrepreneur wise. Small, micro, small and medium. For micro it is only less than 25 lakhs, whereas small 25 lakhs to 5 crore, whereas medium 5 crore to 10 crore. For large scale units it is up to 10 crore to 100 crores. Whereas for mega industries, if it is a mega industries, large scale industries, the investment level will be more than 100 crore. More than 100 crore. It is why I have given this information for our understanding purpose. For our understanding purpose. If you go for higher classes, what is the investment level for MSME? Can you explain? If they ask you, you can be able to give answer. You can give to answer. We need not write all these things. If we have time, we can write. What is the meaning of MSME? And finally, what is the classification in terms of investment level? For micro, for small and for medium, what is the investment level? We have to write it, or otherwise we have to keep in our mind. When that information is necessary, we have to expose. We have to execute. That is very, very important. Okay? Then coming to importance of MSME. Importance of MSME. Importance of MSME. So this is also very important to know. Importance of MSME. MSMEs are accepted as the engine of economic growth. We can surely accept MSMEs are the engine of economic growth for promoting equitable development. The major advantage of the MSME sector is its employment potential. Employment potential. Employment potential, and also low capital cost. Low capital cost. Low capital cost, and also moreover it is a labor intensive labor intensive శ్రామికులు ఎక్కువ మంది పని చేయడానికి సిద్ధపడినటువంటి రంగాలు ఇవి. సో ఇట్ రిక్వైర్స్ మోర్ labor. It is labor intensive rather machine made. So first one is under importance, it is employment potential. More people they will get employment opportunities. Second one is cost of production is very low. It requires less capital, but engaging in more labor intensive. Whatever the goods or commodities are produced through MSMEs, all the goods are by labor intensive. More people when they involved in micro, small and medium enterprises or small scale units. We can say in another words, SSU, small scale units. They absorb more labor force rather capital. So labor intensive of the MSME sector is much higher than that of the large enterprises. In India, MSMEs plays a pivotal role in the level of industrial development. In recent years, the MSME sector has consistently registered high growth rate compared to the overall industrial sector. If we see the recent years, MSMEs consistently registered high growth rate in terms of contributing of national GDP and production of manufacturing goods, that is nearly 45%, and also for export nearly or approximately 40% of exports. So it means the MSMEs are considered or consistently registered high industrial growth. Then coming to the what are the merits and demerits of MSME? This is all about importance of MSME. Merits of MSME. Merits of MSME. First thing we can say, share in industrial production. Share in industrial production. So the total number of MSMEs units in the year 2006 and 2007 was 361.8 lakhs. 361.8 lakhs units were there, and the number also it has increased to 447.7%, 7 lakhs. So the number of units it has been increased from 2006 to 2007. 2006 and 2007 it has increased by 2011 and 2012. It has increased 147.7 lakh units. When it comes to the MSME output, the output of MSME units during 2006 and 2007, it is 13 lakhs 51,383 crore. 383 crore. During 2006 and 2007, for all MSMEs total production, it is 13 lakhs 51,383 crores, and it has increased 18 lakh 34,382 crore. 332 crore. 332 crore, sorry. 332 crore. 332 crore in 2011 and 2012. So, in terms of number of units, MSME, micro, small, medium enterprises have been increased tremendously. The number during 2006 and 2007 to 2011 and 2012. At the same time, the production level also it has been increased. So this is all about the share of industrial output. It has been increased. It has been increased. Then coming to second point is employment potential. Employment potential. MSMEs are certainly they can provide more employment opportunities for rural youth. Small scale units are labor intensive. An amount of investment is the big industry provides employment to one person. For a big industries, they may provide employment for one person, but that one person amount can be with the big industry provides one person, where the same amount 8 persons can be employed in micro, small and medium enterprises. So it means more people can be employed in MSME rather large industries. So therefore MSMEs are more employment potential. Third one is low capital. Third one is low capital. MSMEs, they requires very less investment or low capital. They need relatively smaller amount of capital rather large. So as capital is scarce in our country, India is always it is a scarcity of capital. So therefore MSMEs, if we give more importance to MSMEs, it requires less capital. It requires only less capital, relatively less than large scale industries. Then fourth one is capital formation. Capital formation also it is very easy when MSMEs are functioning, because all the people they can have the habit of thrift and invest in the rural areas. All the MSMEs generally they have the habit of savings. That saving amount again it is pulled into investment as a investment, because it requires low capital. Capital formation can be very easy. Capital formation can be possible through savings. So that is thrift. Thrift also it is the similar meaning of savings. When people save money, that money will come into as a capital. Because MSMEs, they requires low capital. Capital formation is not a difficult task. Capital formation is very easy task when establishing of MSMEs. Then coming to fifth one is skill formation. Sixth one is skill formation. Fifth one is skill formation. Skill formation also it is very easy. MSMEs does not require sophisticated skills. MSMEs does not require sophisticated skills. Only it requires some sort of training and experience. If any employees he has some previous trainings or experience, it is enough. It is not necessary for sophisticated technology, sophisticated skills. Only it serves as a training ground for a large number of small scale managers. Then coming to low import intensity. Sixth one is low import intensity. Low import. MSMEs generally they cannot import foreign direct investment or foreign currency. Not necessary. It is low import intensity. In rural, actually reduce the need for foreign capital or foreign exchange. Not necessary. Whatever the internal, domestically it can arrange the necessary capital because it does not require more capital. It does not require more capital because MSMEs are the mostly on labor intensive. So low import intensity, need not import any type of technology. Then seventh one is decentralized industrial development. Decentralized industrial development. Decentralized industrial development. So generally small scale units or MSMEs will bring about decentralization of industries. Definitely they can decentralize the industrial units. Thus promote the objective of regional balance. Through MSMEs, the regional balance can be achieved. Earlier, there is a regional imbalances was there. Regional imbalances, which means some areas are well developed in terms of industries, whereas other areas they are not developed with industries. So regional imbalances are existed our Indian economy. So these MSMEs are very much reduce the gap or balance size. So therefore decentralization must be done. Then only the objective of regional balance can be achieved. Then coming to eighth one is equitable distribution. Equitable distribution can be possible because small scale units or MSMEs distributed among their profits, whatever the profits earned by all the small scale units or MSMEs, it can be distributed among all its industries. So it leads to decentralization of incomes and wealth. Whatever the profits earned by MSMEs, it can be shared by all the MSMEs. There is no partiality. So you have done higher work and other people they could not do anything. So that type of variation could not be there. All the MSMEs, whatever the profits, they can be distributed among all, whatever the incomes, whatever the wealth. they can be distributed. So that equitable distribution can be possible. Then coming to ninth one. Ninth point is exports. Exports, so the contribution of small scale industries or MSMEs to earn foreign exchange is very high. Foreign exchange is very high. The share of exports from MSMEs, it is nearly 31.1% during 2006 and 2007. During 2006 and 2007, nearly 31.1% foreign currency, foreign exchange, it has been earned by MSMEs. Then last one is prevention of unhealthy and urban sector. 10th one is prevention of unhealthy urban sector. Prevention of unhealthy urban sector. So which means by providing remunerative employment for majority of the people in rural areas who are having skills and entrepreneurial knowledge, so those people will produce environmental friendly goods. There is no any scope to create environmental pollution. They won't pollute, they won't create any industrial pollution. MSMEs are always, it is a friendly to the nature. That is environmental friendly. They prevent the environmental pollution because all the MSME units are labor intensive. When labor are involved in a production process, that is for manufacturing or preservation of goods or commodities, so there is no much scope to release industrial emissions or industrial wastage. Because machines, if the production takes place by machines, lot of effluences or industrial wastage will emit or coming into environment and spoil the environment gradually. But all these MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises are labor intensive. There is a less chance to create environmental pollution. So these are the 10 important things which comes under merits. What are the MSME merits? These are the merits. First one is share in industrial production. Second one is MSMEs are the more employment potential. More people will get employment opportunities. Then MSMEs, they require less capital. And capital formation can be possible through savings or thrift. Savings can be possible. Then coming to skill formation. For MSME, workers, they need not have any sophisticated skills. Only they have some trainings or previous experience. It is enough. Skill formation. And coming to low import intensity. MSMEs need not to import any type of technology, foreign technology. It is not necessary because it is less import technology. Import intensity. Then coming to 7th one is decentralized industries. So when MSMEs are in a active mode, there is a industrial decentralization. Promotion of objective of, it can be achieved the objective of regional balance. Through MSMEs only, regional balance can be achieved. Then coming to 8th one is equitable distribution. MSMEs are very favor to distribute all the profits among all its members. Among all its members. So there is no chance to concentration of profits in the few hands, because micro, small and medium enterprises all are equal, because all the units absorbing more labor intensive labor, whatever the profits, they can be shared by all the institutions. Then coming to ninth one is exports. So according to 2006 and 2007, nearly 31.1% of foreign exchange has been earned by MSMEs. So it is an important, significant feature. That is only 2006 and 2007. If we see the recent statistics of 2011 and 2012, it may be 36 or 37. Not only, it is more or less 35% of foreign currency MSMEs they may earn. Then coming to 10th one is prevention of unhealthy urban sector. So MSMEs are always, it is a environmental friendly, because they cannot release any environmental pollution. They can support, they can protect the environment by installing of all type of micro, small and medium enterprises. Okay, these 10 points comes under merits. What are the merits of MSME? Then we will go for what are the demerits of MSME. Demerits. Demerits of MSME. Demerits of MSME. Demerits. What are the merits? So far we have seen. We will see what are the demerits of MSME. Demerits of MSME. Demerits of MSME. So under demerits of MSME we can see, so they are facing lot of problems nowadays. MSMEs are very good for the development of industries or for the growth of any country, because they are absorbing more labor intensive, that is labor supply industries, and less capital, and there is a possibility of low investment, and import intensity also it is very low. Decentralization can be possible, equitable distribution also it can be possible. There is a less chance to increase of industrial pollution. So there are, in spite of all these advantages or merits, but still MSMEs are facing so many problems. What are the problems? If we see the inefficient labor factors. Inefficient labor factors. First one is inefficient. Inefficient of labor factor. Human factor. Inefficient of human factor. Inefficient of human factor. So generally, our most of the rural people are illiterates and lack of technological skills in the area of production, finance, and accountings and management. Many of the rural people who are engaged in micro, small, and medium enterprises, they are the illiterates, and also don't have technological skills or knowledge with regard to that is area of production, finance and accounting and other managemental works. So inefficient human factor. They are the inefficient. They are not more efficient workers. Some of the workers, they are most inefficient. Illiteracy is the main reason. Then second one is lack of credit facilities. Lack of credit facilities. Lack of credit facilities. Generally, MSMEs are facing lot of credit problems. Chief credit either. They felt simply they fall in the clutches of the money lenders or middlemen. They are charging high rate of interest. So these MSMEs are facing lot of credit facilities because their scale, that is micro, 25 lakhs investment or 25 to 5 crore or 5 crore to 10 crore. So this investment, sometimes they face lot of credit facilities. Lack of credit facilities is the important demerit. Then again, third one is problem of raw materials. Problem of raw materials. Problem of raw materials also. Gathering of raw materials. Generally, quality, quantity and regularity of supply of raw materials are very high. The cost is very high. It is unsatisfactory since they purchase small quantities. Quantity, quality and regularity of supply of raw material is highly unsatisfactory. So therefore, they purchase little quantity of raw materials. Little quantity of raw materials. Many times it is a problem for MSMEs. Collection of raw material. Fourth one is absence of organized sector. Absence of organized sector. So generally, since marketing is not properly organized, the helpless artisans are completely at the mercy of middlemen, because the employees who are engaged in small, micro and medium enterprises, they are not organized, they are unorganized, and many times they have to depend on the middlemen for many purposes. And MSME units also face lot of competition from large scale, absence of organized. And fifth one is lack of machinery and equipment. Lack of machinery and equipment. So this is also lead to low productivity and small scale units. So lack of machinery and equipment, it leads to low productivity of MSME. And power shortage. Many times breakdown of power, lack of power supply, and these things also it leads to production of frequent occurrence of power cuts, which affects the growth of the small scale industries. And lack of technological upgradation. So it is old type of technology MSMEs are using. It is found that the level of productivity and technology used by small scale sector are not globally competitive. Whatever the technology MSMEs they are using, it is not in a present sense not globally competitive. As a result, MSME is facing lot of marketing problems. For their goods there is no market, there is no consumers who purchase these goods produced by MSMEs. And last one is heavy taxation. Heavy taxation. Heavy taxations. Even MSMEs also, they could not escape from tax assumption. These MSMEs also, they have to bear heavy burden of taxes when the time of purchase of raw material and at the time of selling of their goods into the market, final goods. When they sell their final goods, that time also they have to pay taxes. When they collect raw material from different places, even that time also they have to pay heavy taxes. So this is heavy taxes also they faces. So here there are the demerits. Demerits: inefficient human factor, lack of credit facilities. Third one is problem of raw material. Fourth one is absence of unorganized. And fifth one is lack of machinery and equipment. Power shortage, sixth one. Many times power cut, it affects the production. And lack of technological upgradation. They are not giving competition equal to more large scale industries. So then heavy taxation. So these are the important things which we have studied in MSME. So far in MSME, what we have seen, what is the meaning of MSME? When the act MSME, when it has come, 2006 it has come. Okay. And what is the importance of MSME? Especially there is the more potential, labor potential, and capital formation, less capital, and capital formation also it is very easy. When it comes to the merits of MSME, we have seen nearly 10 important points, and demerits. We have to write merits and demerits. If this question comes, we have to write systematically. What is the meaning of MSME? What is the level of investment of micro, small and medium? And what is the importance of MSME? And finally, what are the merits and demerits of MSME? Importance lo manam maatladindi enti? It is more employment potential, low capital cost, and labor intensive. That three important points we have to mention when we write about or talk about importance. Coming to merits and demerits. Finally, we have to conclude it. So one important small question it is left, that is industrial estates. If that question finish, then this fifth chapter is almost finished. Then we will go for service sector. If time permits, we will discuss that industrial estates, and later we will go for sixth chapter, that is service sector or tertiary sector. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and also for watching. Thank you all.
Good morning to one and all. This is Shobha Felix PGT from KGBB Sitana. Okay, now I would like to. Good morning to one and all. This is Shobha Felix PGT from KGBB Sitana. Okay, now I would like to explain about the next chapter is alternating current. So, what is alternating current? So how can we say that it is an alternating current and it is a direct current? So suppose for example, the current I is equals to 6 amperes. This is 6 amperes current and this is 6 sine omega t. So, what is the difference between these two? Means, suppose for example, let us plot a graph. Suppose for example, this is a in x-axis, on x-axis, I will take time. On y-axis, current. So here, suppose 6 amperes current, I is equals to 6 amperes current. So for example, suppose this is 1 ampere, 2 amperes, 3 amperes, so on 6 amperes. So I is equals to 6 amperes current means the graph is straight line along x-axis. Means what will happen here? There is no change in direction and magnitude. So this is a 6 amperes is a constant current. Suppose for example sine omega t. Sine omega t. So from this it will give us the sine wave. Sine wave. So here this is 0. This is 0. So here, suppose for example omega t. Omega t means omega is nothing but velocity, angular velocity, and t is nothing but time. So from that we know that the relation omega is equals to angular displacement by time. From that theta is equals to omega into t. So here suppose it angle, theta is nothing but angular displacement. So for example it is a sine wave. Suppose for example if theta is pi by 2. If theta is pi by 2. So if theta is pi by 2, then the time, suppose for example in time 1 second. After that pi. So here the theta is varies with respect to time. Suppose for example if it is pi, then the time is 3 seconds. So then what will happen? Here the direction and the magnitude. Suppose if it is a pi by 2. So then what is I? I is equals to 6 sine omega t is nothing but theta. Theta is pi by 2. So sine 90. Then I is equals to 6 amperes current. Suppose for example if theta is pi, then what will happen? 6 sine pi. Sine pi is nothing but 180. 180 is nothing but sine 180. Sine 90 plus 90. Sine 90 plus theta is nothing but cos 90. It will be 0. So here, after that, sine 3 pi by 2. Sine 3 pi by 2 is nothing but, so this is pi and this is pi 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2 is nothing but, then here I is equals to 0. So I is equals to 6 sine 3 pi by 2 is nothing but 270. So from that I is equals to 6 sine 270. 270 is nothing but 6 sine then 270. 270 is nothing but 360 minus 90. So from that it magnitude of the current and the magnitude of the current and the direction of the current changes with respect to time, then we can say that is alternating current. So alternating current is nothing but here 6 sin, we can say that 6 sin omega t is nothing but alternating current and 6 amperes is nothing but direct current. So why? Because here it is a constant value. It is a constant value. But in this here the value of current, the magnitude of the current and the direction of the current varies with respect to time. So then we can say that this is alternating current. So the next one is, so alternating current is nothing but the direction of the current, the direction and the magnitude. If the magnitude is varies, then the direction is also varies. So with respect to time. So then that type of current is known as alternating current. So here the source which gives us alternating current. The source, suppose for example, let us take a current I is equals to 6 amperes. So 6 amperes. The source which gives us 6 amperes current. So this is direct current. So direct source. So direct current, it will use as a source of direct current. So 6 sin omega t is nothing but alternating current. The source which gives us alternating current is known as alternating source. So here six sin omega t is nothing but alternating current. So okay, let us take a suppose for example in previous chapter AC generator. We know that AC generator. Suppose for example consider a coil of area A. Consider a coil of area A. So which is in magnetic field. Which is in magnetic field. Suppose the area of the coil is A. This coil is in a magnetic field B. Suppose if it contains, the coil contains n number of turns. The coil contains n number of turns and the coil rotates with velocity omega. With the velocity omega. So here see once. Suppose the coil, consider a coil of area A and which is in the magnetic field B. Which is in the magnetic field B. Suppose it contains n number of turns. It contains n number of turns. The coil rotates with angular velocity omega. The coil rotates with angular velocity omega. So then what is the induced EMF? E is equals to Em sin omega t is the induced EMF. So in previous chapter in AC generator E is equals to Em sin omega t. So when it will be when a coil of area A which is in a magnetic field B and it contains n number of turns and the coil rotates with angular velocity omega. So from there and induced EMF, when the coil rotates, then what will happen? Induced EMF is generated. That induced EMF is equal Em sin omega t. So let us divide with r. So then what will happen? Use EMF by r. This is nothing but that is nothing but potential V by r is equals to I. So from that I is equals to Im sin omega t. Im sin omega t. So this is the equation of the current, alternating current. So what is first one is what is alternating current, and second one is what is the equation of alternating current. So what is alternating current? When the direction or suppose for example when the magnitude is varies, the magnitude means the value of the current. So whenever the magnitude of the current is varies, then the direction is also varies with respect to time. So then that type of current is known as alternating current. And the source which is gives us alternating current, so that is nothing but AC source. That is nothing but AC source. So what is the equation of the current, alternating current? So we know that consider a coil, area of the coil is A and which is in the magnetic field B. It has a number of turns N and it will rotate with the velocity, angular velocity omega. So then the induced EMF is equals to Em sin omega t. Let us divide with R. So then what will happen? This is gives us a current. So I is equals to Im sin omega t is the equation of the alternating current. So okay, what is the average value? Suppose for example, average value of current, alternating current. So this is the sine wave. Why? Because I is equals to Im sin omega t. So this is 0. So this is pi by 2 and this is pi and this is 3 pi by 2 and this is 2 pi. So for one complete oscillation. So this is nothing but one complete oscillation. So from this here to here the time taken is t by 2 and from this here to here the time taken is t. Time taken is t. So here what is the average value of current? What is the average value of current? How can we calculate the average value of current? Means, so here see once we know that this is pi by 2. Pi by 2 is nothing but sin omega t, sin 90. Sin 90 means maximum. And next one is pi. Pi is nothing but 180. Sin 180 is nothing but 0. Suppose for example here, whenever we substitute in place of omega t is nothing but angular velocity into time, which will give us angular displacement. So that is nothing but beta. So here Im sin 90, where sin 90 is nothing but 1. So from that I is I maximum. So this is nothing but I maximum current. second to half oscillation is T by 2 and full is the time taken to 1 complete oscillation is T. So then what will happen here? The average current is 0. The average current is 0. So how can we say that the average current is 0 means it is a maximum value and it is a minimum value? So for one complete oscillation the average current is 0. So after that how can we prove by a perfect way? See me. So here for example the average for one complete oscillation the average current is 0. How can we prove that? Even suppose f of t. F of t. So that is average. We have to represent average like this. So is equal that equals to 1 by t for one complete oscillation 0 to t. 0 to t f of t dt. So here f of t is nothing but I. Here I is in a function. So I average I is equals to, already we know that I is equals to Im sin omega t. Im sin omega t. So 1 by t 0 to t. That function is Im sin omega t. So here I average is equals to 1 by t. So here omega t dt. It differentiates with respect to t. So Im is a constant. So from this Im integral 0 to t sin omega t dt. So what is the integral? Integral of sin omega t dt. Integral of sin omega t dt is nothing but integral sin is nothing but the minus cos. Minus cos. So 1 by t Im sin omega t is nothing but minus cos omega t. Here omega t it varies with respect to time and omega is constant 0 to t. So from this Im by t omega. Im by t omega. So minus, let us take a minus. So minus cos omega t. Cos omega t in place of t I have to substitute capital T. Apply the limits. Cos omega t minus cos 0. Omega t in place of omega t 0. So here minus Im by t omega cos omega is nothing but 2 pi by t into t. Cos 0 is nothing but 1. T get cancelled. So here from this minus average value of I is equals to minus Im by t omega into cos 2 pi. Cos 360 is nothing but 1. So 1 minus 1. So average value of current is equals to minus Im by t omega into 0. 0. So from this, average current of I is equals to 0. Average current of I is equals to 0. So how can we say that average current of I is equals to 0 for one complete cycle? So for one complete oscillation, so the average current is 0. So this is the derivation for when for one complete oscillation, what is the average current? Okay. So if the average current is 0, then what is the power? Is it power 0? No. Is it power 0? So in household appliances, AC current. So then the power is. So we are appearing that we have to see the power. But the average current is 0. But the power is not 0. So we have to observe this in household appliances. Power is there, but the average current is 0. How it will be? Suppose according to Joule's law, power is directly proportional to I square. Power is directly proportional to I square. So from this, suppose for example, if the average current is 0, then what is the power? So here, power is directly proportional to I square. So what is the power? Now we have to calculate. So according to Joule's law, P is directly proportional to I square. So P is directly proportional to I square means P is equals to, whenever we remove proportional, we must add a proportionality constant, that is nothing but R, resistance. I square R. So from this, so what is the power? Average power is equals to I square R. So what is I? I know that I is equals to Im sin omega t. So from that, Im square sin square omega t into R. So this is the average power. So how can we calculate that average power? So we have to calculate what is Im square sin square omega t. So first we have to calculate for one complete oscillation. So within the limits 0 to t. So sin square omega t can be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega by 2. So from this Im square. So in place of sin square omega t, 1 minus integral 0 to t Im square r. Then sin square omega t, in place of sin square omega t, 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 dt. By 2 dt. So from this, Im square r 0 to t 1 by 2 dt, divide this. Since 1 by 2 dt minus 0 to t cos 2 0 to t, 0 to t, 1 by 2 dt minus, first we have to solve this. So cos 2 omega 2 by 2 into dt. So here, let us take a common 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So here, cos 2 omega t. Cos 2 omega t, what is the integral of cos 2 omega t means? Sin 2 omega t by 2 omega. Within the limits 0 to t. So from this, in square r 1 by 2 dt. 1 by 2 dt is nothing but here 1 by 2 is a constant value. 1 into dt is nothing but t minus 0, t minus 0. 1 by 2, 1 into t dt. So t within the limits half, t within the limits 0 to t. So after that, half 1 by 2 into 2 omega, 4 omega sin 2 omega t minus sin 0. In place of t, 0. 0 is nothing but sin 0, 0. So here, 0. So from this, what we have to observe? Im square r. So Im square r. So 1 by 2 into t minus 0 minus 1 by 4 omega. In place of omega, sin 2 into omega is nothing but 2 pi by t into t minus sin 0, 0. T get cancelled, sin 4 pi. So from this, what we have to observe? So Im square r, Im square r 1 by 2 into t means t by 2, t by 2 minus 0, minus 0. So from this, so what is the average value? Average value of power. So what is the average value of power means? So what is the average value of power? Average value of power is equals to Im square r into t by 2. Im square r into t by 2. So here it has a value, average value, but the average current for one complete cycle is, one complete oscillation is 0. One complete oscillation is 0. So from this, what we have to observe? So here this comes out according to from that 1 by t into. So into t, by t, then what will happen? dt get cancelled. Then average power is equals to Im square r by 2. Im square r by 2. So why? Because here also 1 upon t, 1 upon complete cycle is the average current for one complete cycle is 0, but the average power it not be 0. It cannot be 0. It has a some value. So how can we calculate that? Suppose for example we know that in sine wave for one complete oscillation average value, so the average value is Im minus Im, that is nothing but 0. Prove that the average value of current is 0. Means suppose the average value of current that is in function, that is a function f of t 1 by t 0 to t f of t dt. So here we know that the equation of alternating current I is equals to Im sin omega t. F of t is a function, so that is I 1 upon t 0 to t. In place of f of t, Im sin omega t into dt. So 1 by t here it varies with respect to time. Differentiate with. So here it varies with respect to time. So let us take a Im is a constant value. So 0 to t sin omega t dt. 1 by t Im, what is the integral of sin omega t? Integral sin omega t is nothing but minus cos omega t. Then omega t is nothing but 2 by omega. So here minus cos omega t by omega 0 to t. So here Im by t minus constant, so minus we have to take front. So minus Im by t omega also, omega Im by t omega cos omega t, we have to apply the limits 0 to t. So cos omega, in place of small t we have to substitute capital T. After that in place of t 0, then that is cos 0. So minus Im by t omega cos, in place of omega is nothing but 2 pi by t into t minus cos 0 is nothing but 1. So minus Im by t omega cos 360. Cos 360 is nothing but 1. 1 minus 1 0. So the average current is 0 for one complete oscillation. For one complete oscillation, what is the average current? It will be 0. Okay. So then what is the power? So already we know that the power, according to Joule's law, power is directly proportional to square of the current. Square of the current. So if the current is 0, in household appliances AC current, these are all AC currents. So but it has a power. The average value of current is 0, but it has a power. How can we prove that it has a power but the average current is 0? Let us see. So what is the average power? Average power P is equals to I square R. Whenever we remove proportional, we must add a proportionality constant, that is nothing but R, resistance. So P is equals to I square R. So average value of power is equals to I square R. So what is I square? We know that in place of Im sin omega t. So Im square sin square omega t R. So we have to integrate. Suppose here this is the function. First of all, we have to calculate what is the, for one complete oscillation, how it will be varies from 0 to t Im square R 1 upon t Im square R 0 to t sin square omega t can be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. 1 by 2. In place of t, we have to substitute first capital T. After that 0, t minus 0 minus 1 by 4 omega sine 2 into, in place of omega 2 pi by t into t minus sine 0 is nothing but 0. Dt get cancelled, sine 4 pi. Sine 4 pi. So here 180. Sine 180. See once from the graph. So this is 0, pi by 2, pi. So 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. So 180, 360, 370 are zeros, sine values. So from this sine 4 pi is 0, 1 by 4 omega into 0 is nothing but total 0. So from this, what is the average power? P is equals to Im square or T by 2 into T by 2 into T. T gets cancelled. So then average power P is equals to Im square r by 2. It is the average power for one complete cycle, one complete oscillation. So here the next one is, so what is the average power? Average power is equals to Im square r by 2. Im square r by 2. So here this is the average power. So to express AC power in the form of DC power, some of the special value of current is defined and uses some of the terms that is nothing but IRMS, root mean square. So to express AC powers in the form of DC power, a special value of current is defined and used. The special terms are used. So those are nothing but IRMS. Root means square. So here, see once I square r. So IRMS means root over Im square by 2. So IRMS is equals to Im square is nothing but can get cancelled Im by root 2. So what is this? In terms of to express this is in the form of DC power. Some of the special terms of the current is defined as IRMS. So IRMS is nothing but, so this is the magnitude I square r. So in place of Im square by 2. So this is root over, root mean square. So root over Im square by 2. This can be written as square root get cancelled, then Im by root 2. So this is IRMS. So in the same way, what is voltage? So VRMS. VRMS also can be written as Vm by root 2. This is the voltage and this is the current. So this is in the form of AC power. AC power we can written in terms of DC. In the form of DC, some of the special terms are used. Those special terms are nothing but IRMS, VRMS. IRMS is known as root mean square. Root mean square. So what is I? This is nothing but I square. So Im square by 2 under root. Square root get cancelled. Im by root 2. In the same way, VRMS, that is Vm by ut. Okay. So after that, when a AC voltage is given to only resistor, what is that? So when a AC voltage is given to only resistor, so this is the voltage, positive terminal and negative terminal, and this is the resistor. So here, this is the direction of the current. This is the direction of the current. So according to Kirchhoff voltage law, same direction is taken as negative. Suppose it's our wish. Suppose if the same direction is taken as negative and opposite direction is taken as positive. Opposite direction is taken as positive. Suppose this is the direction of the current. Direction of the current is taken as same direction is taken as negative. Opposite to the direction of the current is taken as positive. So from that, so here this is the direction of the current. So here the resistance, the potential drop is IR. So V minus IR. So here C1, this is the voltage, AC voltage. AC voltage is given to only resistor. In this circuit, we are connecting only resistor. So here, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative. And this is the positive of resistor and this is the negative of resistor. This is the direction of the current, we know that. So according to Kirchhoff voltage law, suppose if the direction of the current is taken as, for our convenience, if the direction of the current is taken as positive, same direction of the current is taken as positive, opposite direction is taken as negative. Suppose if the same direction of the current is taken as negative, opposite direction is taken as positive. So this is direction, same direction. So that is nothing but here the potential drop is minus IR. So V minus IR is equals to 0. So V minus IR is equals to 0 means V is equals to IR. V is equals to IR. So here what is V? V is nothing but Vm sin omega t. Vm sin omega t is nothing but IR. So from this what is current? I is equals to Vm by R sin omega t. So Vm by R is nothing but I maximum Im sin omega t. So this is the current. I is equals to Im sin omega t. So here potential drop is IR. So V minus IR is equals to 0. From this V is equals to IR. V is nothing but Vm sin omega t, that equals to IR. So what is I from that equation? I is equals to Vm by R into sin omega t. So Vm by R is nothing but Im sin omega t. So this is the current. So here let us plot a graph. Let us plot a graph. So here Siemens, for example, so here Siemens 0, 0, it is pi by 2, and it is pi, and it is 3 pi by 2, and it is 2 pi. We know that. So V is equals to Vm sin omega t, and I is equals to Im sin omega t. resistance is 50 volts. Then what will happen? 52. So here V by R is nothing but I. So it will give that low value compared to voltage. So that's why the graph is shown like this. So this is the maximum and it will use the minimum. So why? Because suppose 100 volts, we have to apply 100 volts. Then the resistance is, suppose for example, if the resistance is 50 ohms, then what will happen? 2 amperes current. So here I is minimum compared to voltage. So here 100 volts, 50 amperes, 50 ohms, and the current is 2 amperes. So that's why it will shows like this. Okay, thank you.